Okay. What have I told you? The biggest story in America right now is not just one story. It's 6, and maybe not the 6 that you think. 6 different headlines, scattered, unrelated, easy to scroll past. But every single one of them is telling you the same thing. And let me show you, because you'll see it. Once you step back, you'll see it. Right now, you're being told stories about fraud, about courts, about China, about crime, about debt, about war, and they all seem separate, but they are not. They are one story. And the story, it's a story about the system itself. We know, quietly, buried almost as an afterthought, that the U.S. intelligence had evidence, Joe Biden had evidence, that China was accessing now American voter registration data in 2020. We now know this to be true. We have the evidence. We have the documents. And it was hidden. And it was hidden from members of Congress, hidden from the people. Now think about this. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is not a guess. This is a conspiracy fact. It's known, and it was filed away and ignored. And while the country argued about everything else, at the same exact time, now a new national fraud task force is being launched. First story, number 1. We have voter fraud. We knew about it. China was hacking all of our voter data in 2020. No one knew about it. I'm sorry. Some people knew about it. They didn't tell anybody else. And they told us this is the safest election ever. Story number 2. There is so much fraud in this country that I believe if we found even half of it, we would balance the budget. Stop. Sit with this for a second. We are $39 trillion in debt. And the claim is not that we need to grow our way out or cut our spending, but that the money is already there. It's just being stolen. New task force started. Donald Trump says he's going to get to the bottom of it. He's got J.D. Vance on it. I'm going to go into this story. I'm going to expand on all of these stories. Okay? But the question is our money being stolen? Is our money being lost? Is it hidden? I think we need to know. Are we being robbed, or are we just going broke? I think we should know that, because those are two different things, two different countries. And while that question now hangs in the air, let me give you the third story. The Supreme Court is quietly, patiently reconsidering something most Americans have never even heard of. It's called qualified immunity, a doctrine, in plain English, that means government officials can violate your rights and you can't do anything about it unless someone else has already been violated in exactly the same way. I mean, exactly the same way. Now think about that standard. Not was it wrong, but has this exact wrong been done before and then written down? That's the standard. That's been the standard now for a couple of decades. Why? That's the Constitution protecting the government, not protecting you and your rights. So at the exact same moment that we're discovering possible foreign access to our elections in 2020, massive systematic fraud, exploding debt, the one question that actually matters is, will anyone be held accountable? Well, the answer until now has largely been no. This isn't just happening in Washington. It's happening on your street. Listen to this story. In Las Vegas, police refused to release a violent offender. 35 arrests. Manslaughter. Conviction. A judge said, release him. The police said, Not on your life. The judge said, well, I'll hold you in contempt. They said, go ahead, hold us in contempt. Excuse me, what's happening here? You understand how extraordinary this is? This is not a policy disagreement. This is the system breaking in real time. Because when the people inside the system stop trusting the system, they have to start choosing something else. Survival. And all of this is happening. All of this is happening while the world outside our borders is shifting just as fast. The United States is now asking our allies to stand with it in one of the most critical choke points on earth, the Straits of Hormuz. Okay, now this part I love, because what is Donald Trump doing? Donald Trump is doing what he did to the Democrats at the State of the Union. We don't need Europe. What does Germany have? One ship? France, he said yesterday, France is helping, and I love this quote from Donald Trump, but it's France. But the UK won't help. What is he doing? He's saying, I don't need your help. We don't need your help. But you're our ally, right? And the world's oil is at stake. You want to send down some help to help us guard the Strait of Hormuz? And they're saying no. No, not our war, not our problem. Germany, the UK, stepping back, not leading in. Well, wait a minute. What is our alliance all about? NATO, partnerships, unity. That's what we always have heard. Now, when it matters, hesitation, distance, excuses. So let me line these 6 stories up for you, because here's where it all starts to change if you look at it from a distance. We have a system that is compromised, and China is accessing our voter data, and nobody in Washington told you or the lawmakers about it. We have a system that is corrupted, massive fraud draining our resources. Somebody is stealing. Do we know who? We have a system that is mathematically unsustainable, $39 trillion in debt. We have a system that avoids accountability, qualified immunity. We have a system now breaking down locally, police defying courts to protect citizens, and a system losing global cohesion. Our allies stepping back in real time. What is happening here? Because this isn't politics. This isn't left versus right. This is not even policy. This is structural. This is what happens when the things you were told were solid are liquid. And everything starts to shift. Everything starts to move. So here's what you need to think about. When the people you listen to or watch stand too close to the news, they can't see the actual picture. It's hard. It's hard to see the real picture because human nature tells you, look away. It's called the normalcy bias. Just these are separate stories. Don't look at them. But when you see a story, you think it's bad but not connected. In reality, they are connected. Each dot makes up a picture. And a picture like this doesn't happen all at once. It happens slowly. It happens quietly. It happens individually. And each piece is explainable in itself. So every story by itself is dismissible until one day you realize they were never separate stories at all. They were all what? They're not stories. They're signals. They're sirens. They're warnings. And now here we are. The moment where you have to decide when you're looking at the news, what am I actually looking at? Am I looking at now these stories because all of them are being uncovered? So that means the government is actually starting to do its job and uncovering these things. So is this a correction? Is the system finally cleaning itself up? Finally confronting fraud, confronting corruption, restoring accountability, having our allies take a stand one way or another? Or is this what it looks like when a system begins to lose control of itself? Because empires don't collapse because of one event. They collapse because trust erodes, systems fail, accountability completely disappears, and people stop believing. And when that happens, you don't get chaos overnight. You get something more dangerous. You get drift. Institutions that drift apart. Allies drift away. Truth drifts out of reach. And the average person sitting at the kitchen table, looking at the bills, looking at the headlines, looking at the world, says, something's not right. I don't know what it is. I can't take it anymore. Because you've stopped believing. When you stop looking at all of the stories as broken up and separate stories, and you look at them at one, yes, it can be overwhelming, but then the answer is clearer. The question is, what is this moment? Because if this is a correction and we lean into it, we fix it, we demand the truth, we rebuild. But if this is collapse, then the most dangerous thing we can do is pretend it's normal. So, what is the solution? There's the picture in 6 stories. What's the solution? The solution is wake up, if you're not awake, wake up and recognize where we are in history. Look at the 2 choices in front of us. Are we correcting it? Because there is a movement to correct it right now. Are you part of that movement? Or are you part of the movement that says, I just can't do anything about it, just let it slide, it's over? I know which side I've chosen. I demand we tear down the corruption while others try to tear down the system. We tear down the corruption. I demand we believe that this country is worth saving and taking the steps every day to preserve our principles in our own families, in our own neighborhood, in our own town, in our own state. There's 6 stories. 6 stories today. That's all it is. 6 headlines. But if you read them separately, you're not going to get it. When you see them together, those 6 stories become everything. Thank you for thinking for yourself and being part of a movement, because that's really what all of this is. If you want the full story, you want to go deeper, go to blazetv.com. Go there right now, sign up, no interruptions, just the truth, uncensored and unfiltered. Don't just watch, take a stand. And I'll see you over there in a minute.